What does it take to control a human being? Not just their actions, but their very thoughts, their perception of reality itself. George Orwell answered this terrifying question in his novel 1984. He didn't just describe a police state, he revealed the deep psychological blueprint totalitarianism follows to crush the human spirit. Orwell's work is not only literary fiction. The novel is a warning about the architecture of control itself. Orwell's genius was outlining a system where each principle reinforces the others. First and most fundamental is reality control. The ruling party's motto says it all. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. By constantly rewriting history and facts, the regime makes itself the sole source of truth. Without a stable past, citizens have no footing to question the present. So, the Ministry of Truth is constantly altering all historical records, newspapers, books and photographs to align with the current political doctrine. Former enemies become allies, former heroes become outcasts. If the government predicts one thing and another happens, all evidence of the wrong prediction is erased. The control of narrative is facilitated by a state of perpetual war. The enemy might change in an instant, but the war never ends. Oh no, it's not about victory. The open-ended war consumes resources and leads to austerity, and austerity prevents comforts that might lead to independent thinking. The prosperous middle class would be an internal threat to elites controlling the totalitarian state. The war spending prevents it from happening and turns individualities into a human mass. The war is also directing society's fear and hatred towards an external target. It's not the government, but the hated enemy who's responsible for all wrong. So the war must go on, forever, or you may say as long as it takes. To enforce compliance, the authorities need ubiquitous surveillance. Thus, the telescreens in every home aren't just for broadcasting propaganda, they're for listening as well. They monitor your loyalty and allegiance. Whenever you share your thoughts, it's taken note of. The primary control strategy here is to eliminate the very idea of privacy and create a constant state of fear and self-censorship. But absolute obedience is not the only goal. Surveillance creates an atmosphere of constant fear and suspicion among people, leading to widespread social distrust. The threat of being watched, even by your friends and relatives, prevents the trust necessary to form rebellious conspiracies and organize resistance. But Orwell's most insidious invention is newspeak. This isn't just propaganda, it's a systematic project to shrink language, to eliminate words for certain concepts like freedom, justice, or integrity. No words, no thoughts. So newspeak drastically reduces vocabulary, eliminates nuances, detaches words from their original meaning, and turns language into a series of simple, pre-approved, politically correct slogans. Finally, the regime attacks the core of humanity, personal loyalty. The state works to destroy bonds of family, friendship, and love. Why? Because any loyalty outside the leadership is a threat. They must be the sole source of meaning and affection. Children are indoctrinated to spy on and report their own parents. The marriage is stripped of love, intimacy, and loyalty. The primary reason for having an intimate relationship is to produce children who will grow up to be obedient citizens. 1984 is a novel written 8 decades ago. But what about our current political reality? Do we live in Orwell's world yet? Keep in mind that the mechanisms of control Orwell described have evolved. Today, surveillance is often commercial. Our personal devices collect data, but state actors may analyze and use it. Social media algorithms are designed to maximize engagement by showing users content that confirms their existing beliefs. We call them echo chambers. They create fragmented realities where different groups operate with entirely different sets of facts. Making a shared consensus on truth is very difficult then, and this undermines social cohesion. Expressing an independent opinion may lead to cancellation and deplatforming. Language is still manipulated through political spin and euphemisms, and perpetual conflict can sometimes feel endless. The goal in our world may be consumerism or political power, rather than pure control for its own sake, but the psychological tools feel familiar. Orwell's warning wasn't that we would suddenly wake up in a totalitarian state. It was that the path there is paved with the slow erosion of truth, privacy, human bonds, and critical thought. Understanding these psychological principles isn't about seeing dictatorships everywhere. It's about vigilance. It's about valuing language, preserving history, seeking verified facts, and protecting the private spaces, both physical and mental, where individuality can thrive. One may say that the empowerment of individuality is a real vaccine against totalitarianism. What do you think about the topic? Are these principles relevant today? Is Orwell's novel a warning or a playbook? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe to see more videos that explore the big ideas hiding in our culture and society.